Solana represents the comeback kid in crypto, really one of the best success stories, one of the best reinventions of any project in this space. And it had an unbelievable run in 2021 in that bull run. If you've not yet heard about the current Solana of the 2025 bull cycle, I'd be surprised because we actually have talked about it a lot. It's the Sui Network and the SUI token. Since September 2024, to give you some context, it really has been on fire. It went all the way up from 75 cents to its all-time high of $5.35. That's about a 6x if you're keeping up with the math. Now, currently, it's dipping a bit along with the rest of the market. And of course, if you've been following our technical analysis, then you know a little bit of cooling off is a good thing on the way up. The Suilend Labs team that's behind the Sui Network, they keep building, they keep delivering, and at the same time, the Sui ecosystem keeps growing and performing. There's a lot going on with this one, and it's one of those projects that's getting so many of the fundamentals right. It is not going to be a surprise if within the Sui ecosystem, we can really identify the next 5 to 10x altcoin gem. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie and this is Altcoin Buzz. All the best of luck if you choose to invest inside the Sui ecosystem or otherwise. I wish you well, genuinely. Just remember that I am not a financial or investment advisor, which means by extension that this video is not official financial or investment advice. We are starting this list off very simply with the Sui Network and of course its token SUI. Like I said, they keep building, they keep delivering. Their co-founders are some of the most active builders in the entirety of the crypto sector. Sui is only 2 years old, hard to believe, but they've already achieved a whole lot. And of course, you can feel free to disagree, but it does to me still feel like this is still the early days. It's still the beginning. One of their main builders, Kostas Chalkias, he's planning to launch one high-quality project per day. So be on the lookout for that. But in the meantime, here's some of Sui's latest achievements. So for instance, they have Nautilus as a very nice feather in their cap. This brings seamless trust and privacy to Sui. And since last week, it's live on Sui's mainnet. The idea here is that with Nautilus, developers can create oracles that are tamper-proof. And so it eliminates any trust issues that may exist with Web3 infrastructure, of course. Then there's also Claynosaurs. This is a blue chip NFT collection on Solana. However, it's now extended to Sui with their new Popkins collection. Popkins has a 25K supply and 97K booster packs. They were minted at $200 per pack. If you didn't get a Popkin, you did receive a full refund. This went pretty smooth, pretty much as smoothly as it can go, and all within 1 hour. All refunds were made last week. So that was almost 14 million USDC or 73,000 wallets. The collection is now live and you can get your Popkin at Traderport. By the way, this brought thousands of new users to Sui, which is always good. Trust Wallet is another big deal. They've now added SUI swaps on their mobile and extension options. You can now swap any token to SUI, either the same chain or cross-chain. Sui also keeps growing in terms of DeFi, in terms of TVL total value locked. Sui right now occupies the 8th spot. That's among all chains, by the way. The current price of SUI is up a little bit on the day as I record, $3.31. with an $11.266 billion market cap. So for context, that's about 40 or so % away from its all-time high. A pretty good entry point, in my opinion, since we do expect the price of SUI to continue its general upward trend. Walrus Protocol, ticker WAL, WAL is at number 2 here. They are, of course, the decentralized storage platform by Suilend Labs. So a bit of a segue there. We're keeping it in the same context. It's the same team, of course, behind the Sui Network that we just looked at. Walrus raised no less than $140 million in funding from top venture capitalist firms. Its mainnet went live in late March. We covered that. And Walrus also integrates with Nautilus, which we just talked about a moment ago. That is one of the 141 projects that you can find on Walrus. And within a pretty short period of time, Walrus found a lot of platforms that are using its services. A pretty impressive number, actually. This also led to the fact that over 26% of its current storage capacity is already used. So we're talking about some pretty big numbers here. That's the equivalent of 1 petabyte of storage out of the currently available 4 petabytes. Walrus hit the scene with a pretty massive airdrop, and until late last month, the WAL token was doing pretty well. It hit a new all-time high during mid-May or so at 76 cents. Shortly after that milestone, the Cetus hack had an impact, of course, on the price. But at the end of the day, Cetus was an unrelated project, and Wall took a hit, but it didn't deserve to. Right now, we're sitting at just under 51 cents. It's up a little bit on the day with a market cap of $686 million. Like I mentioned, that all-time high is not too much further. We're at about 30 or 35% away from that all-time high. There's plenty of growth potential here. This is kind of like a slow burner that really has, again, that potential to only keep going in the long term. So this does represent a good entry. The Cetus hack, if anything, provided you with a good opportunity. This Altcoin Buzz Spotlight video is sponsored by Walrus Protocol, which has the fastest solution for data storage on the market today. And of course, it's from the team behind Sui. It is a potential Filecoin killer because, very simply, it does certain things that Filecoin can't. And it's climbing up the market cap rankings too and is in the top 100. In fact, it's so resilient that even with only a few nodes operating, your data availability won't be affected. Decentralized data storage on Walrus is solving a big problem that many blockchains suffer from, and that's poor coordination, which probably affects you more than you realize. Walrus Protocol has some big advantages with Sui and the Move programming language over other decentralized data providers. The problem, as they see it, is coordination. So that's making sure if a protocol does three things, for example, that those three things work seamlessly with each other. And then also the protocol needs to work with other projects in the ecosystem and with the blockchain infrastructure like validators. Walrus has some new partners too, like Nautilus for better encryption and Seal for security and privacy management. Your data is safer than ever before. The Walrus mainnet and WAL token launch have been a huge success. And to best stay updated on mainnet activities and other news, I suggest you follow the Walrus Protocol's X account and other socials. You can find those. I'll include them in the description of this video below. Last but not least, here at number 3, I want to look at Suilend, ticker SEND, SEND, which is, of course, the leading lending and borrowing protocol on Sui. Not only that, though, it also leads in terms of TVL charts across all Sui DeFi platforms. And currently, Suilend even offers 0% for borrow fees. Plus, Suilend offers some interesting APRs. So we have, for example, 5.96% on native USDC, 8.7% on SUI USDT, 8.6% on AUSD, 42.42% on DEEP, that's DEEP, and 64.28% on WAL, plus 38.96% on HADL, HAEDAL. And if you loop your Sui ecosystem assets safely, like with Sui, for example, and SUI, then you can earn a pretty nice passive income here. My net APR, for example, sits at about 28%. But looping does involve leverage, just kind of a disclaimer here. So if you're not too familiar with that methodology, be careful and, of course, do your own research. Suilend also plays a role in the Sui BTC Fi scene, that's BTCFI. It offers 50% on open LTVs on LBTC and WBTC. Open LTV is just a ratio that determines the borrowing power provided by a deposited asset when opening a new borrow position. And this is currently the highest on Sui. Right now, over $100 million in BTC assets are already deposited on Suilend, which makes it the prime destination for BTC-backed borrowing in the Sui DeFi ecosystem. When looking at the last year here in terms of SEND's price, again, SEND, it's been pretty rough. We have a snapshot here of the last 12 months. As you can see, the trajectory has been downward. We're sitting at a price right now, though, of just above 53 cents with a market cap of $27.7 million. So pretty good opportunity if you feel like this is fundamentally a good project that has not really earned or garnered the respect it deserves in terms of market sentiment.